have someone very special with us, someone I'm super excited to have here. So I will go ahead and introduce her. Janai Dortilis is an Atlanta native and serial creative. She reigned as the 84th Miss Fort Valley State University from 2021 to 2022. She took the skills that she learned during her reign and implemented them in her daily life. She is now a full-time entrepreneur who teaches women how to develop and manage their personal brands as influencers and encourages them to make passive income through faceless marketing. But I call her my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sister queen. Thank you so much, Janai, for coming on tonight. And without further ado, take it away.
Hey ladies, hey Essence, thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. Thank you so much for having me. Hey guys, so I know Essence talked a little bit about my bio, but before I even get into my bio, I want to say that I want this to be very informative. I want us to be able to talk to each other. So at any time, feel free to type in the chat, take yourself off of mute. I'm going to be asking you guys questions, and I'm going to be looking in the chat because I want you guys to really feel like I'm someone you can talk to. I graduated college not too long ago, and I have a little brother and little sister that's in 9th grade and in 8th grade. So we are not that far removed from age. So any questions, any comments, any concerns, go ahead and drop them in the chat. But like she said, I am Janai Dortilis. I did reign as the 84th Miss Fort Valley State University. I was the first person in my family to go to college. That's really crazy, right? And I was born to a family of Haitian descent. So I didn't really have that much guidance when it came to my personal branding or social media etiquette or even how to maneuver as a queen. So I'm so glad that I'm able to come and talk to you guys today and just give you guys some gems that I wish I knew if I would have had the chance to be in you guys' position. So firstly, we're going to talk about social media etiquette. And like I said, y'all can drop some comments in the chat. What do you guys think social media etiquette is? As a queen, how do you think that you should behave? And this is no right or wrong answer. What do you think it is? Let's not go based off of what we heard or what we think other people would like to hear, genuinely, truly in your heart. What do you guys think that will be? What does that look like? Right. Okay, I'm looking at the chat. Thank you, Aaron. But I'm gonna see what y'all saying in the chat. Okay, somebody said professional, yes. Welcoming, positive, meaningful, yes. Good social presence, right. Digital footprint exists, exactly. So you guys have an overall view of what social media is. As queens, we never know who is looking up to us, who is aspiring to be just like us. I remember when I was in Fort Valley, I was doing a pageant. I didn't think anybody cared about me because everything else was going on. And this little girl ran up to me and she was like, oh my goodness, y'all. No, it was her mom. Yeah, she was like, oh my goodness, mommy, look, that's a princess. And I was like, oh wow, that's crazy because you never know who's looking up to you. I'm just chilling. I'm not even worried about anything else that's going on. And I didn't even know that little girl looked at me to be a princess. So as a queen, it is very important that you behave the way that you would like to be represented on social media. So if your mom can't look at your Instagram and be like, okay, I'm so proud, that's my daughter, then 9 times out of 10, I'll just wait and post it. So make sure that you are being very intentional about what you're posting on social media and very intentional in the way that you would like for people to perceive you. That's not saying that outside of you having your crown and wearing your title that you can't, post pictures of you at your friend's house or at dinner or on your birthday or whatever, but it's just try to have a unique brand and still be able to fulfill the positions of your crown. Someone else says professional and inspiring, correct. I think no cursing personally, yes. Having a clean image and to be supportive, yes. Yeah, so you guys have a really good understanding of things like that. So another thing I would say is to regularly review your social media. So I could have posted something that I thought was really cute before I became a queen, but now in this new position as a queen, I have to be able to take a full scope of everything that I've posted across all of my social medias. Is this still a good reflection of who I am and the position I'm in and how I want to be presented? So you always want to make sure that whatever you are posting on social media is clean, top tier, like everything else you guys are saying. Another thing I would like for you guys to talk about is just how do you guys perceive inappropriate content? Like what is appropriate, what's inappropriate for a HBCU queen to post on social media? I know someone said no cursing, but what else do you think would be considered inappropriate?
Morgan and then Keisha.
Hi, I'm Morgan Wellens, Miss Peach State HBCU Junior Team, and I really think that anything that you wouldn't want a future business or somebody who can be of influence to see, I don't think that's something you should post. I don't think that's something you should post for everybody to see. And of course, like you said, that doesn't mean you can't have fun, post good, fun things. But I think you have to really, like you said, be intentional about what you post, and anything that you wouldn't want your mom or future investors or businesses to see, don't post it.
100% correct. And I know one more person in Essence. Who you saying, Kisa?
Yes, hello, my name is Kisa Dupuy, hailing from Seattle, Washington. I'm your Miss Washington HBCU teen, and I agree with Morgan, but I also wanted to add that I feel like as an HBCU queen, you should be supportive of all HBCUs and not bashing other ones, and then just being supportive of all HBCUs.
And that's a really good one, because of course against our rival schools, we'll have some school spirit, but it's just a thin line. You can always cheer for yourself. You can throw, a little slick shade, okay, yeah, that's why we're the best school. But when it gets to the point of, you're defaming that other school's character, their legacy, and everything else as a queen, because you are literally the representative for the entire school. And alumni is going to be looking at you, faculty, staff, students, even people in the community is going to be looking at you and expecting for you to live up to this image. You want to make sure that even the jokes that you make on social media are not to be too harsh, because that definitely can affect your image as a queen. Somebody else said anything that could be taken as hurtful, correct, or things that promote a lifestyle your university would not support. 100%. I feel like entertaining drama, yes, and posting provocative things is inappropriate, correct. Negative, rude, and disrespectful behavior, right? So you guys have a clear understanding of what is acceptable and what isn't acceptable. On social media, somebody was talking about a digital footprint. Guys, things follow us. Another example, here it is 2023. And when I was in 2016, I used to post these videos of me dancing on Instagram. And now in 2023, people still associate me with being Janai the Dancer from Instagram. That was all those years ago. But whatever you're going to be posting is going to follow you. So just be very mindful of the way that you post on social media and what you're posting. Another thing that I really want you guys to really highlight within your reigns, make sure that you're talking about everything that you're doing, all the good, the community service, the give backs, the special appearances. Make sure that you're not only highlighting this on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and wherever else, for one, because that can bring you more eyes as a queen. You never know. You might post yourself at an appearance on TikTok and you never know. Somebody might be like, oh my goodness, she's so beautiful. She's so well-spoken. I love the way she's dressed. She's being a good representation of her school. Somebody may want to give you a scholarship. Someone may want to invest into funding for your school. You literally never know. Another thing I would like to tell you guys is that make sure that y'all are heavily focusing on using your LinkedIn. And I know, wait, how many people have LinkedIn? Does everybody know what that is? Have you guys started a LinkedIn yet? It's okay if you haven't. Okay, somebody says they have one. Okay, I have. Is there anybody who doesn't have a LinkedIn, or anyone who just doesn't know what that is? And it's okay if you don't. Okay, Aaron doesn't have one. Okay. Okay, Princess, she doesn't have one, but she knows what it is. Not yet. I have a Spike View profile. I'm not educated on that. Tell me what that is, Talia. Okay, so I see a lot of people don't have one. And some people are saying they've heard of it. So basically, your LinkedIn is like your professional Instagram or your professional Twitter. Is literally like a social media platform just for you to brag on yourself and to get professional experiences, opportunities, internships, etc., funding. I've had friends that get jobs from LinkedIn. It's also a way for you to search for different opportunities within your area. So when you're on LinkedIn, you want to make sure that, for one, that you are connecting with people with like interests. So if you guys don't have LinkedIn, what I'm going to tell y'all to do is everybody make one and make sure that y'all all friend each other on LinkedIn, because you all have the same interests and you guys are all HBCU queens. So make sure, for one, you guys all make LinkedIns and befriend each other. make sure you all keep up with one another, and y'all can even hold each other accountable. Like, hey sis, I seen you did a gift back last week. Why it's not on LinkedIn? Or hey girl, look, your community service event was really cute. Why you didn't post that on LinkedIn? I'm telling you, because once you get into the habit of, once you get into the habit of consistently posting, consistently telling people about your accomplishments, about your achievements, about the way that you are being a trailblazer in your community, for one, you're going to be like, okay, look, I just did this and I need everybody else in the world to know about it. For two, it's going to have more eyes. Like someone might be like, okay, she did this last month for her community. Okay. And then last month she did this. And then today she's doing this. So people are going to start seeing you more as a thought leader. And you also want to be able to get those opportunities, like I was saying earlier, for alumni and for anybody else to give you that love and that respect and that spotlight that you deserve as a queen. So everybody, make sure that y'all get onto LinkedIn. And this is also something that's going to follow you all into college. So many people in college use LinkedIn, so that's what I'm telling y'all hop on it now. When you get into college, it's going to be a lot smoother. In college, like I was saying, people use it a lot for job opportunities, internships. Okay. All right, Celia. Like jobs, internships, opportunities, literally anything that you can think of in a professional realm that will help you get ahead in life. Paid opportunities, unpaid opportunities, free flights to places, free flights to conferences, literally anything that you can think of. LinkedIn, 9 times out of 10, is a great platform to let things like that come into fruition. You also want to balance being able to show your skills and your interests on your social medias. So you are a queen, but people still want to know that you are relatable. So if there's something that you're really passionate about, and maybe this is an incentive that you post for the people on your campus, right? So I know when I was Miss Fort Valley State University, I'm really, really passionate about people being expressive, people being able to be themselves and not just fit into one box. So I know you all may have advisors, or you all may have staff that advise you and tell you, hey, this is, how you should look. This is how your hair should be for certain occasions. This is how you should carry yourself. I was a good advocate for being able to have that, but still being able to have your unique competitive edge, I guess you would say. So you can still be a queen, but you can still go and play golf or play hockey or be a cheerleader or whatever else you wanted to do. So that was something that I was really passionate about. And I made sure that through my campaigning, I let people know that. Another thing I was really passionate about was people knowing exactly what to do after college, because oftentimes we're just so focused on being in college for 4 years, but we're not even knowing, okay, after we graduate in May or after we graduate in December, like what's next? And I feel like my HBCU didn't really highlight everything that we needed to know about post-grad life. So use your platforms as queens to talk about what is your school not really having and what do you want to see better in your community. This will also make you seem like a better queen, because it's like, okay, not only does she have this title, not only does she just smile away, but she actually cares about us. She sees the problem that's in our community. She's using her voice to advocate for us. She's using her voice to put us in positions to achieve better things. And she's also putting herself in a position to seem relatable to us. Everybody doing okay in the chat? Let me check, make sure everybody's okay. All right. So now we're going to talk about communication. So communication is very important as a queen. It is very important for you to know how to communicate online and offline, because like I was saying earlier, when you are communicating online, you are able to get a lot of opportunities that you may not get in your direct circle. So if I'm posting on LinkedIn and I'm talking about all my talents, all my interests, everything I've been accomplishing, somebody in Nebraska could give me an opportunity when I'm in Georgia. But it's very important for you to do it in your immediate community as well, because you have to advocate for yourself as a queen. So let's say, for example, as a queen, you just don't agree with the way something is going on, right? You like deep down inside in your spirit, you just don't agree with something. You feel like it can be handled in a different way. It is definitely okay for you to advocate for yourself, advocate for the right that's going on in your community, but using a professional tone. So I don't ever want you all to feel like, oh, because I'm a queen, I have to sit here and I have to just, smile and let whatever else go on in the world. It is okay to advocate for yourself. It is okay to stand up and say, hey, y'all, I think that this can be handled in a better way. Or, hey, as the person that's the forefront speaker for my community, or somebody that's really in my community would like to see this change instead. This is probably another way to impact my community opposed to the way that we're doing it now. There's always a way for you to express yourself, to be kind, and to still get your point across. So it's very important for you to communicate in those ways. And as a queen, I know recently my alma mater, they got a partnership with, I don't want to say the company wrong, but they got a company partnership with this brand, and basically they focus on like natural hair care and empowering people to be Black queens. And that is so major. And that's something that while I was in school, we didn't have that. Like, it was like you were just a queen. Like, having brand deals as a queen was not a thing for me back in 2021, 2022. So it's just so beautiful to see all the opportunities that is coming into fruition. And when you guys go to college and when you guys become the queens of your universities, you guys will have even more opportunities. So when you are trying to get opportunities as a queen, there is something that you need to do called a PR email, right? So a PR is really just something special for outreach in the community. Public relations, your outreach. How are you connecting with these people? Are you going to networking events? Are you going to send an email and get invited to opportunities? That is just how you relate with the public. A lot of people see that, they're like, oh my goodness, what is that? It sounds like such a fancy word, but it's really not. So in your PR email, you want to make sure that you answer everything and you don't leave any room for misconception. So you want to make sure you tell them who you are. So what's your name? What do you do? Where are you from? What is it that you're wanting? How can this partnership not only be mutual and beneficial to you, but to their company as well? A lot of times people send out PR emails, or even if they reach out to companies on Instagram and they want them to do something for them or for their school, and they're not saying the mutual benefit that it has. So let's say, for instance, I'm reaching out to Nike, right? And I'm saying, hey Nike, I'm Miss Fort Valley State University. I would love if you sponsor our cheerleaders' new uniforms, because we need some new uniforms right now really badly, and we would look so cute in it. Nike's going to be like, it just seems like you just want free merch. There is no mission behind it. There isn't anything that Nike is benefiting from as well. So whenever you are reaching out to these companies, whenever you want to have that communication piece, and whenever you want to build these relationships, make sure you're saying, okay, Nike, look, my school will be able to increase your visibility by this way. My school would be able to give back to Nike in this way. You will be featured in this kind of way on our campus. Make sure that whatever partnerships you are seeking, they are beneficial for both ends. Even if realistically you just want your cheerleaders to have new uniforms just because it's time, you don't ever want to make it seem like it's all about I, and it's all about like you just want to take. Because put yourself in the shoes of a business owner. If you are about to lose out on inventory, or if you're finna invest into a grant or invest into a scholarship for a person, you will want to make sure that, for one, they're qualified, for two, that you're getting your return of investment, even if it is a scholarship. And I'm pretty sure you guys have applied to scholarships as well. People want to see that you are qualified. They want to see your GPA. They want to see how you've been carrying yourself on campus. They want to see your community service. They want to make sure that, okay, we're about to give this person this $2,500 or even $25,000 scholarship, and we want to make sure that we are investing the right time and the right money into the right person. So you want to make sure that you are very intentional and consider everything from both sides. You always want to make sure that you stress the importance of being clear and concise, and that's just across the board. So as a queen, as I was saying before, we are often viewed as public figures that should uphold this image of perfection. So you want to make sure that you are able to articulate everything as a queen, because if you're not able to properly articulate yourself, that can hinder you a lot. That can hinder you a lot from opportunities. That can hinder you a lot when it comes to your personal development. That can hinder you a lot in college for wanting to break out of your shell. Make sure that you really think about the message that you want to convey before conveying it. And this even goes back to social media. So make sure that everything is just really thought out and concise, and you put yourself in the other foot of the consumer and be like, okay, if somebody was to see this Instagram post that I'm about to make right now, is there any room for confusion? Are they going to take this as offensive, even though I meant it this way? Make sure that whatever you are saying is being really concise and clear. You also want to make sure that you are communicating when it comes to networking. So I know you all are all networking with each other, but how many people go out into the community, even when you're not in Sash and Crown, and really like talk about yourself and talk about what you do and network with other people? Okay, so Naya says she does. Anybody else? And like I said, there is no right or wrong answer. I have, okay, I do. Okay, so do y'all talk to y'all mama's friends? Like, okay, look, this is who I am. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I'm doing in my community. Okay, look, I'm so proud of y'all. Everybody is saying yes. Okay. Everybody is saying yes, yes. So that's really important because you literally never know who you're talking to. You never know who you're talking to. You never know who can put in a good word for you. You never know who is seeing you outside of Sash and Crown. You never know how networking with one person at this event or networking with somebody that you met through your mom or your mom's friend, you never know how they can plug you in to get better and bigger opportunities. Whenever you guys have the chance and you feel it's appropriate, don't be scared to talk about your hopes and dreams and what you want to see change. Like, don't be afraid to talk about what you're passionate about, because you are a queen, but more than anything, you are a human. You still have feelings, you still have things that you're passionate about, you still have things that you want to see change. So don't be scared to say, okay, look, I'm a queen, but I'm passionate about this. Make sure that you advocate for yourself, like I was saying earlier, and making sure that you are communicating. So I know you all are probably like, you keep talking to us about being an HBCU queen, but I'm not even in my freshman year of college yet. I have time, and that's okay. I just want to make sure that I'm putting these gems into you all early. So here's some tips and tricks that you guys can make sure that you implement between the time of now and the time that you guys get crowned in 4 or 5 years. One, y'all, we have to be very mindful about time management. As a queen, I'm pretty sure you guys already know right now it's hectic, but when you're going to be the queen of a school, or when you're going to be able to juggle all these different things, we have to make sure that we're balancing our academics. So no, firstly, we are a student before anything, before any crown, before any sash, because one thing about it, if we weren't a student or if we weren't qualified in some kind of way, we wouldn't even be able to have this role and fulfill our duties in a capacity. So let's always prioritize the things that matter and the things that can jeopardize us being in the positions that we want. So do you guys know what ChatGPT is? Drop a chat if you guys know what ChatGPT is. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Yes, look, ChatGPT is my best friend too. And when I was in college, we didn't have ChatGPT. Okay, Erin said she doesn't know what ChatGPT is. So ChatGPT is like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a personal AI, and you can go and ask it almost anything. It's like 10 times better than Google. So you can ask it, hey, literally anything. It's a free app and it's a free website. I'm going to download it. I'm going to drop the link so you guys can download it. Yes, Erin. So you can go and ask it anything. So ChatGPT helps me for my business. ChatGPT helps me write pitch emails to companies. And you know, when you go to Google, sometimes you'll ask Google a question, but it's like Google is giving you the runaround. It's like, girl, Google, this is not what I was asking for. ChatGPT 9 times out of 10 gives you anything that you want, and it comes in seconds. So think about your wildest dreams. Think about your wildest answers. Think about things that you want to see done, and ChatGPT can do it for you. So I use ChatGPT as my personal assistant. So I tell ChatGPT everything I have going on. I say, hey, my business needs this. Me as Janai, as a person, I need this. For my client outreach, I need this. And ChatGPT will literally put everything in chronological order and tell me exactly what I need to do, because I have trained it to be my assistant. And you guys can do the same thing. If you guys are like, look, I'm overwhelmed, I have to study for this test right now. I have to make sure that I'm studying for my SATs. I have to make sure that I'm applying to scholarships. ChatGPT, if you literally just tell it exactly what you want it to do, if you want to say, hey, can you make a planner for me? Can you put me on a time management schedule? Can you help me, y'all? Take this with a grain of salt, okay? Can you help me? Just give me ideas on ways to better my scholarship essays. Give me better ways to identify what a good resume is. Like, it will literally do anything that you want it to do, and it's 100% free. So make sure that you guys are working smarter and not harder and using these tools to your advantage. But one thing I will say, don't just go verbatim off of whatever you asking ChatGPT to do. So if you have a paper that's due, don't ask ChatGPT to write the paper for you, but ask ChatGPT to brainstorm ideas so that you can know how each paragraph should flow. That makes sense? So it is AI, and it's the same way like how Google is, but it's just a lot more advanced, and you can make it a lot more personal to you. So make sure you guys are definitely using this in your personal time. Another tool that I like to use is called Notion. I'm gonna drop this as well. So Notion, right? So Notion is a tool that helps you do everything. So if you wanted to, what I use it for my social media content calendar. So if you guys are into social media, if you guys are into posting, you feel like, look, I'm a queen, but I also have work to do, but I also need to get on a good, okay, somebody said they use Notion, good. I need to get on a good like track of what I need my life to be. You can go in there, you can create as many calendars as you would like. You can also go in there and talk about your to-do list. You can also brainstorm. You can also talk about your quarterly goals. So like when I planned out my vision board in terms of like goals for this year, I use Notion, and it is an app as well. And you can also use it as a website. So it's also another tool that I feel like would be very beneficial. Google Tasks is my last tool that I would say. Google Tasks is not as advanced as Notion and ChatGPT, but if you have a Google account, which a lot of people do, let me go and type it in. This is an app. So Google Tasks lets you write to-do lists based off of whatever it is. So on my Google Tasks, I have like so many different tabs open in my brain. So I have a to-do list for what kind of work that I need to do for my business. I have a to-do list for what kind of content ideas I need to do. What do I need to do around the house? What kind of tasks do I need to complete today, tomorrow, by the end of this week, by the end of this month? So this will also help you organize your tasks. You'll have like all of your open thoughts right here in the paper in front of you. So you see, okay, for example, in you guys' instance, for social studies, I need to make sure that all this is done before the end of the week. But I also have my Miss HBCU responsibilities. So I need to make sure all this is done. But I also have scholarships to apply to. Here are some scholarships I need to apply to by the end of the week. And it will literally lay any and everything that you are thinking out and just be able to help you. So like I said, y'all are at a better advantage than Essence and I, because when we were in college, we didn't have this. We had other resources, but we didn't have anything that was this powerful. Or at least I didn't know about it. I just found out about Notion a couple months ago, and it has definitely helped improve my productivity. And the same thing for ChatGPT. I think ChatGPT probably came out, well, I don't know when it came out, but I know I just started using it last year. So make sure you guys are using new technology and new tools to your advantage to better you as a human being and as a queen, because it's there for a reason and it's free. Use it. A lot of times we get overwhelmed. Like I know when I was in college, I was so overwhelmed because not only was I the queen of my school, I was a captain of the dance team. I was in 8 other student organizations. When I was Miss Fort Valley, I was still trying to graduate, still trying to make sure I had an internship, still trying to apply to jobs. Like I was so depressed. I was calling my mama every day crying, like, Mama, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And it was because I just put too much on my plate and I didn't know how to channel that stress, and I didn't know how to like decompartmentalize everything and put everything where it belongs. And using AI now as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, it's helped me so much. Like my days are way more productive. I feel a lot less stressed, and I'm able to be a lot more functional. So even if I do have to post on LinkedIn, right? Or even if I say, look, I know I'm gonna post on LinkedIn a couple of times this month, I put it in Google Tasks and I can see it every day. So it's a gentle reminder, opposed to me just writing it down today in my journal and then I'm coming back to that page in my journal until 2 weeks and I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta do this. Oh my goodness, let me scramble. I have to do this. I have to turn this assignment in. Literally use AI, use technology to your full advantage. Another thing I would say is make sure you guys are listening to the people that are giving you all advice and that have been in these positions, in these roles. I know y'all might be like, okay, well, so-and-so has this belief system, that's so dated, or I I'm not going to listen to my advisor because of X, Y, and Z or whatever. And I know, like, I was you guys' age before too. So like when I was like 17, 18, I thought I knew everything. I was like, you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. I would listen to my mom. I was like, she's just my mom. Make sure that the people that are important to you and investing into you, make sure you're really listening to what they're saying, because they're not just talking to you for no reason. They want to see you be great. They want to see you do good. And a lot of times people are telling you from their own personal experiences. So what's the point of making mistakes that somebody else made if they're sitting here telling you and giving you the blueprint and the guide to make sure that you don't have to go through that? A lot of things can be learned through trial and error, but you shouldn't have to go through the trial and error as well. If somebody's telling you, look, this is exactly what I did, don't do this. You shouldn't be like, and then turn around 2 seconds later and do it, because you don't want to have to find out the hard way. You don't want to have to find out the hard way. Life can be a lot more easier when we just listen. And a lot of times we get in a place where we feel like we have to talk more than we listen. Make sure that in this lifetime right now where we're at, when we're trying to build and be the women that we want to be, make sure that we're actually soaking everything up. Make sure that we're absorbing, make sure that we are acting like sponges, and that no matter what's going on, even if we don't agree with the perspective, there's always something you can learn from somebody. There's always something that you can learn from somebody. So make sure that you are just always having that learning cap on and knowing that no matter what it is, it can be somebody that's 90 years old. It can be somebody that's a lot less fortunate than you. It can be a 5-year-old. You can always learn. You can always evolve, and make sure that you guys are just always open-minded when it comes to bettering yourselves. So guys, we have a couple minutes left. I just wanted to open the chat and see if you guys had any questions at all. There is no such thing as a bad question, as a dumb question. We can talk about literally anything pertaining to social media etiquette, your personal brands outside of the crown, anything that's appropriate. You guys have any questions about college life, HBCU queendom, anything? Oh, go ahead, Morgan.
Okay, I wanted to say thank you, and I'm definitely being a sponge. I have like 3 pages of notes. But my question was, what do people tend to forget when branding and marketing themselves?
That's a really great question. One thing I would say people forget is they look at the bigger opportunity opposed to considering how that opportunity affects their personal brand, right? So as an influencer, I have been offered a lot of deals that just don't align with my personal brand. So I'm really into like fashion and empowering other women and teaching other women and beauty in that realm. So realistically, I'm not going to accept a collaboration from somebody that just doesn't make sense. So if it's and I also model as well. So let's say there is a photographer that's offering me a lot of money to pose or do things that, provocative or something that doesn't align with my personal brand. I don't care if it's giving me $1,000 an hour. If it doesn't align, it doesn't align. So same thing for you as HBCU queen. Y'all are beautiful. Y'all are beautiful. Y'all will all be presented with opportunities, but always think about your personal brand. No matter how big the opportunity may be, don't ever compromise your integrity and your brand and your name and your image for like just temporary satisfaction. So I would say that's definitely something people forget a lot. That's a really great question too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I said, what do you believe is a good posting schedule? Realistically, I would say whatever you can commit to. So I know some people will tell you, okay, let's do 3 times a day. If you know you cannot commit to 3 times a day, don't do 3 times a day. Don't do 3 times a day. Because when you start being consistent and posting 3 times a day and you start falling off, the algorithm is not going to mess with your content. Do whatever is good for you. So at this point in time, y'all, I've built my social media for a lot of years, like I'm saying, since 2016. So I have, a couple thousand followers. So I try to post on my personal page like 3 times a week. And then on my business pages, that's where I really like try to post at least 3 times a day, because those are the days that I want to make sure that I'm making my money. So it just depends on what you're posting. But another thing I would say is it's better to be intentional with your posting opposed to just putting out anything because you feel like, okay, I have to post 3 times this week. So make sure you're being intentional about the message of what you're posting. Is it going to inspire your audience? Is it going to educate them? Is it going to be something that's shareable so that you can get more eyes on your accounts? Like make sure that whatever you're posting has a purpose and we're just not just putting it out there in the algorithm just because we feel like we need to. Because being able to post intentionally is what's going to make sure that people are attracted to you, for you, and make sure that you're able to build your online presence in your online community. Hey, Lisa. Let me know if I'm tearing your names up too.
It's up, Elissa.
Listen, I'm sorry, girl. Hey, what's your question?
So I actually kind of started my business like a little bit ago. I'm a self-published author, so I have a book, and I was really just asking, like, do you have any tips? Like, well, it's like a two-part question, but number one, because I was doing good with advertising at first, but it kind of fell off. So like, first to like build confidence with actually like putting yourself out there and your product out there, and then number two to like stay consistent and motivated to like actually create content.
Okay, so you said your first question one more time. Can you ask them separately because my brain be going everywhere?
Yeah, the first question was building confidence to put yourself out there.
We have to realize that we are made in God's image, and there's only one of us. It doesn't matter if we have a twin sister. It doesn't matter if we are born in a group of triplets. Like, there's only one of you. And when you are confident, when you are yourself, when you have that charisma, when you embrace like all of your flaws, no matter what they are, that's going to give you a way to better inspire people. So I would assume all of us are HBCU queens because we love other people. We love being able to give back. We love being able to reach other women. So that confidence is something that you're able to share with everybody else, but it's also something that you can share for yourself. So one thing I would say to do is affirm yourself. Like, some days when I'm not feeling the best, and I could be looking a hot mess, bonnet on, crusting my eyes, I will go in the mirror. I'll be like, oh my goodness, girl, you are so beautiful. You look so good. You have to hype yourself up because the internet is not always a nice place, especially when it comes to confidence. People may be, in your comments saying some really mean things, but you have to believe it in yourself. So that's something that I definitely would say to practice, even if it's just writing on sticky notes and putting those sticky notes on your mirrors and telling yourself whatever your flaws are, whatever your insecurities are, make sure that you highlight those the most. So I know growing up, my teeth was my biggest flaw before I got braces. And people used to bully me so much because I had like a really big gap. And I remember I used to put on my sticky note, my gap is beautiful. So that never bothered me, like, because at the end of the day, this is what I feel. So I would definitely say to affirm yourself, to talk to yourself, write down sticky notes, put them in your mirror, or you can even have like a affirmation journal. So that's definitely something that can build your confidence. Now, what's the second question you said?
The second part was staying consistent and motivated with creating content.
Okay, one thing about it, y'all, scare money don't make money, and I've never seen anybody that just don't want to make money. So, and I know that we shouldn't let money be the root and the drive, but think about it. The more you post, the more opportunities you're going to have to impact somebody. The more opportunities you're going to have to impact somebody, the more that it's going to convert into sales. So as an entrepreneur, I'm not going to say every day has been easy for me. Everybody's not going to believe in your mission. Everybody's not going to believe in your dreams. But think about Tyler Perry, y'all. Tyler Perry was homeless, and look at him now. Think about so many people that have had the odds stacked against them. Think about Michael Jackson. I heard that when he was little, he used to always get beat in Jackson 5, and think about the legacy that he left. So I would say keep the end goal in mind on those days that are not the best financially, and you may not feel your best as an entrepreneur. Just always keep in mind, look, I'm going to be a millionaire. My business is going to be in Forbes. Everybody in the world is going to be, reading my books. My book is going to be a New York bestseller. Like, always keep the end goal in mind. So if you don't know exactly what you want right now, that's totally fine. But have you done your vision board and wrote down your goals for 2024 yet?
Yes, I have.
Have you done like your professional and your personal?
They're kind of like mixed together.
Literally, what I would do is I would print it out. Whatever my workspace is, I will look at it like, oh my goodness, girl, I didn't make no money today. Look at that. I'm like, okay, look, but I'm gonna be a millionaire. Or look, oh my goodness, I don't want to post this content, but I'm gonna be a millionaire. Another thing is batch create. You know what that is? So batch creating is when you take one day or one time out the week and you sit down and you write all your content and you record it. You do everything that you need to do. So if it's gonna be, look, the first Sunday of the month, I'm going to take this whole Sunday, I'm going to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I'm going to record everything that I need to do, and I'm going to schedule it out. You can schedule it out through Instagram. Instagram has a scheduling part. Hootsuite, I've never used Hootsuite and Later, but those are also some more scheduling apps, so you don't have to even think about making content. It's a lot more consistent. It's a lot more better to be consistent when you can sit down and make things for weeks or days in ahead, and you can still be out doing whatever, and your business is operating by itself and it's being on autopilot. Did I answer both of your questions?
Yes, thank you.
Welcome, love. Anybody else have any more questions?
And then we have
Hi.
after this. One more question after this.
One more time.
We have one more.
Oh, hi.
question.
Sorry.
After this one, we have one more question.
Okay. Hey, your name Ryan?
Yeah, it is.
Hey Ryan, how are you, love? What's your question?
My question is about social media. So when you're building your social media, is it more important to cater to a specific crowd or to seem more welcoming and geared towards all?
That's a really great question. I would say definitely your target audience. So y'all know, like everything's not gonna float everybody's boat. So what kind of audience do you want to cultivate? Do you want to talk to people your age? Because the people that's our age, they're not gonna understand the same lingo that you know an 80-year-old may use for slang, or vice versa. So you want to make sure that your target audience is people that's gonna rock with you, people that are gonna align with your morals, your visions, and your values. That's just like all these different companies. All these different companies do not have the same target audience. Like Skims is not the same target audience as Dolls Kill or Forever 21. Forever 21 is a lot more vibrant. Skims is a lot more, athleisure, like very much, like on that cool, calm aesthetic. Like every different brand, all of your favorite companies, they have a different audience in mind. So as an entrepreneur or as a personal brand on the internet, make sure that you are catering to the kind of people that you would like to interact with, because there's no need for people pleasing, because all these people, like there's literally no way everybody in the world is going to rock with you in your content. But there is a way for you to have a certain target audience and a certain niche, and for everybody in that realm to have a better interaction with your content as well.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome, love. Okay, we have one more question, guys.
Hi, my name is, I am Miss Texas. My name is Leah, and for my platform, it's about empowering young females. And I was wondering, because you said yours was also about that too. How exactly do I go about that? Because I've kind of been struggling with that aspect of it, on how to empower young females. And when creating a posting schedule, because I'm like, for Mondays, I want to do this, but what's the best way and aspect I can go about it?
I would say definitely do whatever you can commit to. So it just depends on how do you want to interact with your audience. So is it like an incentive? Like, do you want to highlight other women in your community that's doing good? Do you want to maybe repost Pinterest posts on your story and get people's interactions and feedbacks? Do you want to go live? Do you want to have women empowerment sessions? Like, there's a lot of different ways to empower women. And I would just say it just depends on what do you feel like is feasible for you. So what kind of like empowerment things would you like to do? Because you can definitely do everything that you want to do and just put yourself on a schedule and make sure that you are like consistently emphasizing that. So every Monday at 6 p.m. we're going live and we're talking about different topics. Every day you can tune into my stories for your daily inspiration. Or every Friday we're going to highlight people in the community that's doing good. So I would just say make sure that you put yourself in a schedule and write down exactly what it is you want to do, and then put it on days that you know you can commit to it. And I think that would better build your audience, because they're like, okay, look, I'm having a really down day, but I know today at 8 p.m. I'm gonna get my, my daily empowerment by this Instagram post for this page that's constantly empowering women to do better. Or, hey, I'm having a bad day today, but I know this Friday I can look on this Instagram page and see that there's gonna be somebody that started off like me and that's doing a lot better, and that can give me that inspiration. So I definitely would say put yourself on a calendar and figure out what you want to do, and then just commit to that, and that will help you better build your audience. That answered it?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. I know that was it for questions. I wanted to say thank you guys so much for listening to me, talking to me, and interacting with me. I hope that this call provided some value. If you guys have any more questions, I'm gonna drop my email or my Instagram, whichever one you guys want to talk to. You can shoot me a DM. You guys can email me any questions that I probably didn't get an answer, or anything that you guys may think about later. Feel free to talk to me. Like I said, I'm like you guys' older big sister, so any and every question is acceptable. Just go ahead, reach out to me there. Thank you, Essence, so much for everything and giving me the platform to come and talk to you all. Young women, you guys are beautiful. You guys are on this track to success. And I'm so happy. And I cannot wait to see where you guys will be when you guys enter college and start your road to HBCU queendom. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Janai. We really appreciate you for coming on tonight. I will make sure, ladies, if you don't get her information out of the chat, I'll make sure that I put it in our group me. But thank you so much, Janai. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night.